falloir revenir dans la compétition maintenant, si vous voulez bien, puisque nous voici avec le dernier groupe. Alors, installez-vous, prenez place, gorgez l'eau en tous les cas, parce que vous en aurez bien besoin pour vivre donc à l'heure de ce dernier groupe à venir nous rejoindre. Il y aura la Belgique par la Minneci, le Danemark avec Karla Dyhm-Junge, nous aurons la Suède avec Renee Claesson-Ribbring. Il y aura aussi la France avec Chiara Zenati. Il y aura la Grande-Bretagne avec Natasha Baker. Les Pays-Bas avec Rixt and Horst. Il y aura l'Italie, Francesca Salvadé.
So grade 3, the exciting conclusion to Para-Equestrian at Paris 2024. Barbara Minneci of Belgium will get us underway. And then Denmark, Sweden, France, Great Britain, Netherlands, Italy and the United States will have their final riders. Get out there and enjoy what is a brilliant venue for Para-Equestrian.
It was their performances in their individual tests that allowed them to go through to the freestyle today.
Allez, autant on était généreux dans le fait de, eh bien justement, de pouvoir se dégourdir quelque peu avec des applaudissements du tapis. On reprend la compétition avec autant de sobriété et de silence, notamment dans l'accueil de chacun des cavalières et cavaliers dans chaque couple qui vont venir nous rejoindre en pensant à bien lever vos mains à l'entrée, de bien lever vos mains en les agitant justement à la fin de la reprise, notamment pour celle qui vient nous rejoindre, qui sera ravie déjà de voir vos mains se lever.
So heading out, it's her third Paralympic appearance. She was fourth in the individual freestyle 3 years ago. Barbara Minneci of Belgium with Stuart heading out to kick off grade 3's individual freestyle event.
Et ici, à Paris, elle était déjà de 3 Paralympiades, ceux de Tokyo, de Rio, de Londres. Vous allez suivre donc pour la Belgique.
A reminder of 5 grades for athletes with different physical and vision impairments. This grade 3 impairments in both legs with minimal or no impairment of the trunk or moderate impairment of arms, legs and trunk. Some athletes may use a wheelchair in daily life. Our focus is on how the riders and horse combine and find that synergy to try and score, with the judges looking at artistic and technical scoring. Now, it's a different form from individual events that went earlier in these games. This time there is a lot of freedom of expression.
There certainly is, and riders will be looking to showcase the highlights of their horses' paces, the movements they choose to link the compulsory movements.
So the music of Norman Jonas. Introduction, the Love Dance. Seems an apt one for this duo performing. 55-year-old Barbara Minneci of Belgium with Stuart. Grade 3's individual freestyle event underway. And of course, in the different grades, there are different impairments, and that can also make a difference in terms of the use of aids.
It can. Here, Barbara carrying 2 sticks because of the lack of power and use in her legs, and you'll see the strapping across her thighs to help give some stability, and also the strap between the stirrups and the girth. Again, these all allowed adaptations of tack for riders of certain physical impairment grades. For the higher artistic marks, looking for the rhythm of the music to match the footfalls of the horse.
She's been so close to medaling at a major event in freestyle. 3 years ago in Tokyo, just off the podium as she was in Rasenbeck. Germany hosted the European Championships last year. Can she find that extra flourish to make a date with the victory ceremony?
Clear difference there from the working to the medium trot. Just a little stumble, but that's just one moment in time in a movement. Or linking, it wasn't even in a movement, so that's another thing. If it happens in a movement, you might want to look at popping another one in if you have time and room.
You can see there for the wide shot the pavilions, 5 of them, with judge looking on from a different angle, and that's why you'll see in the scoring differences at the average taken, and then the technical and artistic overall scores used to give us our final score.
And this allowing the horse to stretch on a longer rein, but she's just emphasizing it by leaning forward, giving the rein, allowing Stuart to stretch as much as possible. Looking for those change of pace with the change of music. Listening into his rider, ears just flickering sideways and back, concentrating, and the horses love the music too. And that leg yield, a double coefficient, so worth double marks. Looking for the smoothness of the rhythm and the even step sideways.
Interesting that Minneci rode until 16 when she suffered her impairment, eventually gravitating to para-equestrian at the age of 40, and it can be a question of realizing what is possible and the opportunities that are available.
It is, and these athletes here now will be hoping to inspire the next generation as well.
Certainly an inspiring performance to kick off Grade 3's individual freestyle event. Big smiles and plenty of silent applause for Barbara, Minneci and Stuart.
Now see the performance for Belgium. Belgium in this Grade 3 with our final 8 riders competing there at Chateau de Versailles. Stuart
the strap around the horse's neck. Just again another point that she can hold on to if she needs to for a little bit of extra balance.
Well, like a lot of our para athletes, rehab horses helping improve not just, of course, being involved in sport, but life outside the saddle as well.
It really does. You're using every part of your body, every part of your working body to control this half-ton of horse that you're working with. And these horses are spectacular. They so tune into their riders. Just that little stumble, but that's one moment in the whole test.
Big smile. Will it be a big score for our opening rider of 8 who battle for 3 medals?
So obviously Belgium and but we'll be going to Denmark, Sweden, France, Great Britain, the Netherlands, Italy, and the United States of America, who will be the last into the break here.
So with every passing rider, we're closer to the end of this Paralympic Odyssey. Certainly be a sad farewell, but memories for a lifetime. Barbara Minneci, 72.281, the early benchmark. She sits in first position.
On the overall marks for Barbara Minneci, artistically and technically, 72.281.
La voici donc celle qui va entrer sur le ring dans 21 ans, vous disais, j'ai le bonheur déjà de voir vous.
So Karla Dyhm-Junge, just 21 years of age, and she'll be looking to perform in this freestyle with Miss Daisy. So one of the many Paralympic debutantes, shown her promise at her home World Equestrian Games in Herning back in 2022. Just missing out on both individual podiums. I did take a silver for Team Denmark. Thankfully not all the time in equestrian life is easy. Miss Daisy did step on Karla's foot and break it in March 2021, but they look like they've kissed and made up.
Definitely all is forgiven.
So Denmark looking to their young gun to try and push for a medal. Well, plenty to quack about on the Team Denmark corner as they look on. All fashion choices are very welcome, as is the site of the Chateau de Versailles. The French tricolor waving in the wind. It's been a tumultuous day of weather, but we're finishing on a high. Karla Dyhm-Junge will be bringing us Material Girl, Wrecking Ball, and looking to smash the competition in points.
Setting off in walk. Riders can choose the order of the paces. And some horses using the calmness at the beginning of the test before moving on to the trot. Balance and rhythm in showing those lengthened strides. The strings bringing Madonna's Material Girl to life. Certainly a strong start from Miss Daisy Dyhm-Junge. Change of bend, changing with the music, little pauses in the music, and that's where you're looking to earn your higher marks in the choreography.
Of course, a big opportunity for this young rider. Of course, the defending champion would have been Tobias Jorgensen of Denmark, who was golden in Tokyo, but the change meant he couldn't compete here.
A lovely stretch here. This is just superb. This is what the judges love to see. The stretch of the neck, the horse just reaching down, keeping the activity. A nice quiet pickup with the contact. Very active, bouncy trot. Suits the music so well. Looking for those hind feet tapping out the rhythm of the music, the beat of the music. Riders using the movements in different places, creating the pattern for the judges to follow. Lovely smooth change of stride to the walk through this serpentine, this 3-loop serpentine with double marks. A short diagonal line to create the 10-meter circle. Again, that leg yield with double marks. So rhythmical.
Karla Dyhm-Junge driving Miss Daisy. What she hopes will be another Danish medal in grade 3. Following on from Tokyo gold for Jorgensen. It's Karla, at 21 years of age, who is flying the flag for Denmark. Uncertainty maybe on the sidelines. It's always difficult to judge what the judges are going to think.
That's that nervous weight. And here just showing such rhythm, energy and elasticity in the paces, exactly what the judges are looking for. Crossing there in the leg yield. And riders will know their music inside out. They'll know exactly where they need to be at any given phrase of the music.
De suivre les 8 hauts d'apprécier en tous les cas les 8 reprises de cet après-midi. La joie bien sûr de toutes celles et ceux qui participent. Ils savent évidemment qu'elles sortent de...
Happy but unsure where she will be. 72.281 was the score of Barbara Minneci. Get a sense the Dane will expect to score better than that, and that is the case. 73.367 for Karla Dyhm-Junge. Her and Miss Daisy are the top rank after 2 competitors. So from one Scandinavian to another, Sweden preparing for their final ride. Renee Claesson-Ribbring and Zap VS with the honour. They've had to bring a lot of Swedish flags. They've got the names of each on them. Now, Renee Claesson-Ribbring, a 40-year-old, ranked 40 in the world with Zap VS.
Our grade 3 riders, some will have warmed up the horses themselves, done the pre-competition warm-up and tired themselves. Others will have their coach, their trainer, ride the horse for 20 minutes. Some of these horses will need a canter maybe to warm up. And the rider has to be on for the final 10 minutes before entering the field of play and the main arena.
And certainly the case, the Paralympics, first and foremost, is a great celebration of sport. It's also an indication of the mindfulness and willingness to make things accessible, and that there are ways to include rather than exclude.
Very, very true. This is all about ability.
Yes, giving aids in order to be able to focus on what you can do and thrive in, rather than focusing on what you can't do. Well, brilliantly, Renee Claesson-Ribbring entering to the end titles of Driving Miss Daisy. We saw Miss Daisy take Karla Dyhm-Junge to the top. How will Ribbring and Zapvies fare going next? So Hans Zimmer has been featured quite a lot.
Good crossing, just a little bit of loss of harmony in the change of rein. But a good, strong piece of music for the trot. Looking for the hind footfall rhythm of the beats to match the music. Looking to use as much of the arena as possible and designing your floor plan to gain the higher choreography and inventiveness.
Paralympic debut, having only taken up her dressage a year ago, 2 years after a riding accident that resulted in her impairment. But like a lot of those who join the para dressage family, a lot of them have had riding experience from a young age or in their past.
And that's what I would have expected for you, for the timeline that you're giving there to reach this level in a year. Then she certainly must have had that experience prior to this. Otherwise that would be a certain fast track. Looking for the rhythm, the balance, the connection between horse and rider.
She did say, all these Paralympians hope to inspire others, just as she was after her accident.
It gives people the impetus to try more, to try different things in life, to look at other opportunities. Lots of circles, lots of voltes in this grade 3 test. 8 meters in medium walk, 10 meters in the working trot. Get a lovely stretch shown here in the walk. Just picking those reins and the loops back there. Adaptive tack allowed. For the beat of the music to match the pace of the horse. Coming in to complete her test.
She looks very happy with their performance, and the silent applause certainly shows that is reciprocated in the stands and in Team Swedish corner, as it is at the moment. So we will have our provisional podium once the scores come in. Technical and artistic scores. Average for our final percentage. Soaking in the moment. Final chance to shine. How did she do?
Lovely flowing test again. So lots to like. Using the rising trot here to keep the momentum through that leg yield. There we see the loops, the rein adaptations that riders are allowed.
Three down, 5 to go. Paris 2024 drawing to a close, but plenty of memories to be captured before then, and of course, even once the sport is over, victory ceremonies will get us a chance to celebrate our para-athletes. Renee Claesson-Ribbring into third position, provisionally 71.307.
And her results just in the 71.307% for Sweden, which puts her for the moment.
In the end, it was the technical score that pushed her down to third behind Barbara Minneci. And of course, it's seen 74, 75 artistic, but to keep your technical score up, you need to make sure you're really hitting your mark.
You have to be spot on.
You'll certainly start to hear a murmur, but the crowd encouraged to keep things silent, but certainly nothing against the visual show of appreciation. The French crowd understandably excited. Chiara Zenati, the 21-year-old on Swing Royal. Certainly at times the excitement can get the better of the home crowd, but very quickly they are reminded to keep things quiet if colourful.
This horse very experienced at this level, so I'm sure he would look after his rider should that arise.
So the artist who is going to serenade Zenati and Swing Royal, Pascal Conte. Valentino, Sweet Obsession, Comme il faut, Que noche, and what an evening. Chiara Zenati bracing herself, the second 21-year-old in this grade 3 field. A young or old age but a number. It is about the partnership. Though a little bit of confusion. So somewhat of a false start. I'm imagining it might be the wrong music. Or maybe the wrong timing.
Timing.
And of course timing
is everything. It really is.
Now that's energy. So, slight false start, but Chiara Zenati ready to get underway. Her home games. What an exciting moment to be in the final 8 to perform.
And it's little occurrences like that that you will have trained your mind to just let go, to focus.
Very easy to get distracted.
It is.
Of course, for Zenati, despite being just 21, it is her second games. She planned to go to Tokyo after only 2 years at the Cadeau Noir in Saumur, but the delay to the Tokyo Games ended up playing in her favour. But of course, no greater pressure, if still pleasure, than performing in front of your home country.
Just completing the medium trot and looking to get the most expression in that without losing the balance and rhythm.
She arrives at this Games as a European silver medalist, so she has shown her potential, especially that came in the freestyle. In Tokyo, it was 5th in the individual event, 8th in the freestyle.
And when you have the shorter reins, your only option to show that length and stride is to lean forward. Give the length of rein. Using the stick as an aid on the shoulder. Elegant horse, this Swing Royale.
She's already matched her output in the individual event. 3 years on, she finished 5th again. Just couldn't quite make it a medaling performance. She finished 8th 3 years ago. She's certainly looking very likely to improve on that. But how high can she finish at her home games?
Very straight and parallel in that leg yield. Judges will be liking that. Steps. These with double marks.
Now the crowd, as I said, encouraged to silent applause, and they just can't help themselves. A wonderful final French flourish at Paris 2024. Tears are flowing. The emotion of completing here a wonderful Paralympic odyssey on home soil. The tricolores flying high. It means everything.
Dreams do come true.
Can she realize the ultimate dream? If this is a reaction after the performance, imagine if she wins a medal. The double European silver medalist. If nothing else, taking the opportunity to wow the crowd here. How did you rate the performance of Zenati and Swing Royale?
Getting a standing ovation there from the crowd. Pensive looks from the sidelines. But these two have a lovely relationship, harmonious relationship.
Well, it's also an emotional moment. Swing Royale's final performance before retirement. So there is a lot that goes into Chiara Zenati, 75.914. First place. Will it be good enough for a home medal? I'm starting to think the French are excited. Well, you've experienced a home Paralympic Games. As we see 4 out of 8 riders going with halfway stage. Chiara Zenati, Karla Dyhm-Junge and Barbara Minneci on the podium. Claesson-Ribring in 4th.
Denmark's Karla Dyhm-Junge in second place now, 73, 367 penny. In third place, Barbara Minneci of Belgium.
Chiara Zenati, Karla Dyhm-Junge, Barbara Minneci, et voici avec vos mains qui se lèvent, s'il vous plaît, pour encore une fois bénéficier de ce cadre. Bien encore pour chacun qui vient nous rejoindre. Vous avez la chance de saluer aussi l'entrée en piste de la 3e meilleure performance individuelle de ce bal, celle qui a été 3 fois des Jeux paralympiques. Elle est des médaillés d'or.
Natasha Baker on Dawn Chorus, competing for Great Britain in this freestyle event.
La Grande-Bretagne voit justement pour sa carrière le public de Versailles. Levez les mains, s'agiter pour Natasha Baker.
Natasha Baker, who is the next to join us for competing.
So 4th Paralympics, aiming to add to her medal haul.
5 years. They already won the individual silver and the bronze.
We're talking about home games, 2 golds she managed. And you know all about medaling and performing at a home games. What is it like?
You just use the energy created by the home crowd. It really does lift you. And to follow in from a rider who has that support, that's its own added pressure as well.
So Natasha Baker, who's the highest scoring Brit in the team event, as they finished 6th, and in the individual event, her score enough to take her a bronze. Can she add to that? Well, she'll certainly want to be strong enough. Share part of her programme, and Shania Twain also getting a run out as Natasha Baker gets her freestyle underway.
Strong music with clear beats, so right away looking to match that rhythm. Horses' footfalls matching the beat of the music.
you're still the one. She wants to be back as number one.
Taking care there, she was to make sure her change of pace matched the music. Changes of rain across the centre line.
Well, 2022. Natasha Baker taking a break to start a family. Joshua born in April last year, which she called her biggest achievement, which I praise when you've been Paralympic royalty. She also brilliantly put it by saying, as ambassador for the sport, I want to put more bums in saddles.
Admirable thing to be looking to doing. Lengthen strides. Clever mixing of the music.
Really an opportunity, not just with the performance, with the music, to help tell the story.
So the judges are going to be looking at the artistic marks for the rhythm, the energy, the elasticity, the harmony, the rider skills, but the choreography and the music and the interpretation of the music. Flowing nicely for the duo. One last medium trot.
Will it be strong enough for a medal? We'll wait and see, but really eye-catching performance from Natasha Baker and Dawn Chorus, nicknamed Lottie. Awful lot of love for the performance, particularly looking to bring a final medal. It's the last grade, the last competition of these Paralympics, and she, they have been told for side applause, but she giving the okay to show some vocal love. The crowd don't need much encouragement.
They don't, do they? I've rapidly learned that. Hiding away, waiting. But this is a classic example of the rider knowing the music inside out, knowing exactly where those changes are going to come waiting for them.
Young family, friends, teammates, all those that go into creating this opportunity, and one she's grasped with both hands.
Natasha Baker, c'était donc pour la Grande-Bretagne avec un cross.
Exactly, that was our fifth combination that's completed here for the moment. That was Great Britain, and then we have also the
Team GB hopeful.
Italy, and probably winding up with the United States of America.
5 down, 3 to go. After our next competitor, we'll start to know the identity of our podium.
Mais en musique. Et il nous reste donc les Pays-Bas, effectivement, l'Italie, les États-Unis d'Amérique à venir en écho sur ce parcours. Tout d'abord,
they're certainly feeling good about it.
Avec un de 9 ans, on aura le plaisir de voir. Un talent de 9 ans par Freestyle qui aura permis là aussi à sa cavalière d'être tout simplement médaillée d'argent. Et voici les
Natasha Baker goes top of the table, 77.140 and 80.080 for artistic impression.
77-140 en Natasha Baker.
And that performance with Dawn Chorus and our judges evaluated technically and artistically with 77.140. Our new leader, Chiara Zenati, the French runner, is now second, and Denmark's Karla Dyhm-Junge is in third place.
Troisième place effectivement pour le Danemark, la deuxième pour la France, et il a donc le plaisir de voir la néerlandaise, auteur là aussi de magnifiques prestations, la dernière en date, il y a quelques jours lorsqu'elle était médaillée d'argent justement individuelle de ce grade 3, après avoir été championne et médaillée de
20 medals at the Paralympics. Rixt van der Horst looking for more on Royal Funk.
notamment de trial, 3 fois l'or et 3 fois l'argent au championnat d'Europe, numéro 11 du paradressage.
She added to her haul with second place in the individual event, ahead of Natasha Baker, just behind Rebecca Hart of the United States. So it's going to be a nervous watch for the Briton.
And it can be quite hard. You're riding into the arena as a new rider and you hear the score of the preceding rider. You really have to stay focused, not let it phase you.
In Mannheim this week, and Onago.
So a mix of music from Richt van der Horst, starting with Robert Miles's Children. She can Asha, Thomas Bergersen, plenty to enjoy. How will she piece it together? The backdrop of the Chateau de Versailles. She looks for more medals and maybe a first Paralympic gold. Richt van der Horst with Royal Funk.
Another piece of music with a very strong beat. Riders need to make sure that they are as on that beat with the horses' rhythm as possible. Stepping and crossing in the leg yield. Timing the change to the walk perfectly with the music, change of music. very confident in the horse's ability to keep those marching steps through that turn.
Van der Horst's journey began the recommendation of a physio. Initially saddleless with someone behind to hold her. He said, I'm physically limited, but I want to be the best at what I'm given. And given, she's a two-time world champion, of which one came 10 years ago in this country. The Worlds were held in Caen. Yet to be the top of the podium at a Paralympics, the 32-year-old.
Interesting to see how riding can very much help a body develop physically as well, because there was a time when she would have used strapping on her thighs to assist with the stability, and that's all gone now.
Because it's such a physical workout.
It is. The reins here, allowing the horse to stretch the neck and the nose, the length of stride increasing. Looking for that careful and consistent pick back up to the medium walk. Lovely harmony and balance. It's a German stallion. Very much in harmony with his rider. Ears out to the side. As we look for the cues that he's tuning in. Very expressive medium trot. To gain the highest marks in choreography, making full use of the arena, being inventive and creative, and putting together a floor plan.
She's certainly hoping it's flawless. Rixt, Van der Horst, cuddle for Royal Funk. The 32-year-old will wait to see if she can place herself on the podium once again. The Dutch have only been out-medalled by the Americans. It was silver in the individual, silver again in the team event. The emotions raw because coming towards the end, but also watching your countrywomen perform at the highest level.
And the quality of these horses, the standard, it's not in open competition. Riders without the physical impairments, they'd be delighted to have horses of this standard.
She's looking for a score of 77.140, or above that I should say, from Natasha Baker, currently our gold medalist. Chiara Zenati, the silver position. Karla Dyhm-Junge is the one who'll be worried sitting provisionally third. Great ovation. Well deserved, as for all our Paralympians. Just 2 riders to go. This means once we have the score, medals will be confirmed. Soaring to the top, Richt, Van der Horst, 83.007. Absolutely marvellous. Rixt van der Horst, 83. Natasha Baker in second. Chiara Zenati now nervously waiting in third. There's the excitement, and then there's the nails to be bitten, because there's still 2 riders to go. Francesca Salvadé of Italy with Escari, the world number 8, making her bid for Italian medal. Rixt van der Horst just blowing the competition out of the water with that massive 83. A hard act to follow.
Second last combination about to go into the ring here at Chateau de Versailles, 35-year-old Francesca Salvadé, Italy, with Escari. Escari was a 7-year-old maestra who is a Hanoverian going, Horst, which took part in the famous recently
looking on, Gante in particular, the only Equestrian medalist, Paralympic Games for Italy. She's looking for some company. Well, it will be the Beatles who will be the accompaniment to the duo's performance. Introduction, All You Need Is Love. And there's been plenty of love here at the Chateau de Versailles for para-equestrian dressage. And it's almost time to say goodbye. But we get to enjoy 2 final performances, and soon that of Francesca Salvadé.
She's just taking the time to set the start up to be where she needs to.
Francesca Salvadé with Escari. Can she get herself into medal contention? Saw her finish 10th in Rio. A huge opportunity to go and create some personal history. She debuted in 2011 in Deauville and also placed 4th, part of Team Italy, the World Championships at Caen a decade ago. So she has had a long love affair with the French nation and wants to leave her mark on Paris 2024 as the penultimate rider.
Well, these riders, they know their music inside out. They're being very careful to change the pace with the change of music. Francesca, she has the strapping on her thighs to aid with stability in the saddle. music to generate the energy in the medium trot. Very accurate there. Placing the 8-meter voltes in the center of the score, using great judgment and getting the correct sizing. Riders often choosing the music to suit the horse's personality as well. Clear changes. Showing some lovely lengthening. This walk. Just showcasing the love between rider and horse. A real partnership.
It's certainly been evident throughout Para-Equestrian. Day 4, but close to the final performance. But the penultimate one sees Francesca Salvadé make her bid for a medal. The Italians delighted. And will the judges' score mean she's in with a chance? 83.007 is currently the gold standard set by Rixt, Van der Horst, Natasha Baker in the silver medal position. Chiara Zenati, 75.914. Beat that, and you're on the podium.
Ces podiums paralympiques seront les derniers. Vous aurez donc pas moins de 5 remises de médailles dans chacune des catégories.
I think there's a bit of a wry expression on her face. I'm not sure if she's quite done enough.
It must be the point where you may know roughly where you are, but when the margins are so tight, as you say, it could be a medal, it could be just missing out.
That's it. And it could just be 100th of a percentage point. It is so close at times. And a close-up in that strapping just showing the assistance, but that would break free if anything unfortunate to occur, but the strapping just giving an extra turn.
Et pour la première marche, il va falloir taper très fort. 83.007 de la néerlandaise.
Little look back to where dreams have come true for new and old Paralympians, for medalists or those personal bests. Just knowing that they've performed at this exalted level. So many. Francesca Salvadé, 75.820, just missing out on the podium. Well, Italy's pain, France's gain for now. Team USA will be the final flourish here at Paris 2024. Rebecca Hart has the honour of closing Paris 2024 along with Floratina. How big an honour is it, or is the focus purely on the performance, which she'll need over 83% to replace Richt, van der Horst, Natasha Baker, guaranteed a medal along with the Dutch, but it's the colour we're unsure. Chiara Zenati, she's in the bronze medal position, but it's probably going to be a surprise if she holds on if the American performs to form.
I think that fourth or that third spot, when you come down to the final rider, it's such a hard place to be. Was just reacting to the bell there. He'll quickly get him under control, settle him down. But the question about being aware of being the last rider to go and closing a ceremony, that's not in your mind. You are just so focused on your test. Let's see if
influence. This is the second time the music from the film Driving Miss Daisy has been used, but it will be the centerpiece of the performance of Rebecca Hart. The Team USA have been dominant. 4 golds, a silver and a bronze. Are they going to punctuate Paris 2024 with another medal and potentially another gold? Of course, already golden from the individual event and the team event.
lots of pressure that you can feel when you're in that position. But there's such a rhythmical horse. Should be looking to eke every single mark possible out of this. Soft, fluent steps in the leg yield. Three-loop serpentine with the walk steps, 3 to 5 walk steps when crossing the center line. You're looking for the balance.
It took until Tokyo at her 4th games to finally medal in the Paralympics. That has supercharged Rebecca Hart's Paris 2024. She had yet to win a gold medal. She is now on the hunt for a 3rd of these games. There must be that moment where you break through and you just want to ride that wave.
That's it. Sometimes the performance you just flow through it. It just happens. You sit there and it just seems to be. And here she's just looking to generate that little bit more energy in the walk there. Changing pace with the change in the music. Making it look so easy. Belying all the hard work that will have gone in to make this performance possible. That's what you want, to produce your best performance on the field of play.
really seen from the top our dressage pairings. It's the 80s and above. Found their champion. It's amazing to think, mentioned she medaled for the first time in Tokyo. That was in team bronze. She'd never actually won an individual medal. She has 2 already round her neck. Is there a third on the way? Well, that is nerves, knowing it's gold or silver for Rixt, van der Horst. Natasha Baker desperately trying to hold on to silver, but at least knows she's got a bronze. It's Chiara Zenati, who I think may have already given up on third place, because that was special.
It certainly was, just so flowing, just so much energy, the lightness as well within it. Definitely a delight to watch.
Florentina and Rebecca Hart waiting. It is nerves now. Richt van der Horst already silver behind the American in the individual event, and again in the team challenge. It's just tough when an athlete or a country seem to have your number. Shows what it means to try and get a gold, but it's out of their hands. We wait the judges' final score of these Paralympic Games.
Ne bougez pas, on va aller très très vite. Regardez, on est déjà en train de mettre un petit peu de décorum qui va nous permettre justement de saluer.
Well, it is triple gold for Rebecca Hart, 83.534. She is the freestyle champion. Now this is just a chance to try and reassess and remember silver is still a great result, but it is tough when you've waited until the last, and the difference was 0.53 thereabouts, so the difference between the two is so tight. There is no shame. Silver medal for a brilliant performance. She was pipped by the tiniest of margins. It's so tough though when you've put in top class performances and each time someone just pushes you into silver. And silver's a great, you're the second best, but it's the psychological battle of, a lot of times there's a lot of research about bronze medalists being happier than silver medalists because of depending on how you focused on what you're trying to achieve. So the individual freestyle event, grade 3, Rebecca Hart, the champion. Richt van der Horst in second just, and Natasha Baker of Great Britain grabbing bronze. Disappointment for the host, Chiara Zenati pushed off the podium. That's Francesca Salvadé, Karla Dyhm-Junge, Minneci and Renee Claesson-Ribbring.